So just a quick announcement before we start. I love for everyone to be in listening only mode so that we can avoid any background noise coming from your end so that we can get the best out of this presentation. And if you want to ask question, you can utilize the chat box and there will definitely be a question and answer section and you'll be able to. I'm still getting background noise. Let me see what I can do from here. Okay, thank you everyone for doing that. Right, so you can send in your charts, your question through chats anytime during this presentation. And also if you want to ask verbally, there will also be question and answer session so that you'll be able to ask the question directly. And for any question that you ask and I do not know, I will research for you. I don't want anybody to leave this webinar today with questions in their mind. And if you think that you are too shy, you don't want to talk, you're not somewhere you can chat, you can also send me a private message. Even at the end of the webinar today, I will be staying back for anybody that wants to ask question. I can put you in a separate room, in a private room, so that you can ask the question at the same time. But the main purpose of today's webinar is to clear any myth, any questions that you may have about cybersecurity career. So that is very, very important. If today is your first time joining me, thank you for coming, and I really, really value your presence here. I am Olukayode Oshilaja, and I'm the IT security consultant and one of the instructors with Proven Academy. In my professional life, I support various organizations, corporate, federal government, states, local governments, and corporate organization, and everything in the space of cybersecurity. And I'll pull from all my practical knowledge to be able to answer most of your questions. And also, academically, I've gone through my master's in cybersecurity and information assurance. And all these things is just to be able to answer any question that you may have as relates to cybersecurity. So let's talk a little about what this training is all about. Okay. Now, today's training is going to be about career change and the requirements to make that decision. Okay. It's also going to provide relevant information for you to make a gainful career decision. So that I've heard a lot of people that said, oh, they paid for this training before, and it was when they got into the middle, they found out that, oh, it's not even what they want. And I don't want that to happen to anyone coming into the field of cybersecurity. So that's why Proven Academy has been doing this for the past 4 years, trying to educate people to clear any doubts that you may have, some questions that you may have about cybersecurity. So it's going to be about cybersecurity career and all you need to know. Okay. And we're going to also be talking about the Proven Academy. That's the organization that is sponsoring this webinar. And also, we have some of the alumni of this academy, those that have benefited from the guidance of this cybersecurity, of this Proven Academy, that have secured a job, through the guidance of Proven Academy. They're going to be talking to us, sharing their testimony, their journey, just to encourage you, to let you know that If they can do that, then sure, right, that you'll be able to do that. So today, before we actually talk about cybersecurity at large, I believe it is essential for us to have in our two sets, two main things to understand what's our motive for coming into the cybersecurity. What are the things that we need to put in place for us to actually get into this field? So we're going to be talking about mindset and skill set. So we're going to talk about that briefly before we actually begin to dive into the ocean of cybersecurity. So let's see where it all started. The journey into a new career, it begins with you and from where you are and with what you have. Okay, everyone, we desire a change in our life. We desire a new career. We desire a career that is going to minister to our needs, that will give us the flexibility for us to have what we desire in life. So the journey into that career begins with you, from where you are and with what you have. And also, I like for you to also understand that human mind has the capacity to learn so many things at the same time. And also, we have the capacity to change. So the only thing that I consider that we cannot do is the thing that you cannot comprehend or that you have not imagined to do. So and when we talk about the capacity, we are talking about our ability to do things. Our ability to do things. So let's talk about skill set and mindset. What are they? What do they stand for? How is that actually applicable to us? Talking about defining the skill set, skill set is ability, potential, talent, or capacity that you can pay for, right? Anyone can acquire skill set through any means. Either you watch YouTube or you go to school or you come to this webinar, you pay for training, and then you gather these skill sets to do something. So skill sets can be purchased, but mindset is the way you think that affect the way you believe. It's our attitude, our emotional state. Okay. So for us to achieve success, if success is anything that we desire in life, we need to have the combination of skill set and mindset before we can actually make a change in our life. Okay. And I will tell you that most of the time, we have overrated the value of skill set at the expense of our mindset. But if I am going to choose what is more important between the skill set and mindset, I will tell you that your mindset is more important than the skill set. Okay, in the order of priority, pay attention to your mindset. And I don't want to go into details talking about mindset skill sets, but we know that when we talk about mindsets, we are talking about fixed and dynamic mindset, right? So some people, they have a fixed mindset. That's the mindset that tells them that I cannot do it, they easily give up. So, but a growth mindset or dynamic mindset is that mindset that is given to knowledge. That he actually understands that there will be pressure, there will be distraction, there will be a lot of challenging times on your journey, but you are not giving in, you are persevering, you are pressing on. Okay, that is the growth mindset. So what I will recommend for you coming into the field of cybersecurity is for you to have a growth mindset. It is very, very essential because there are so many things that you're going to learn along the way. So for you to make maximum impact in this field, you need to have the growth mindset. So during this training, we're going to be talking about some of those things. Let's cite example of a soldier. When you think of a soldier, he might dress like a civilian, it might look like a civilian, but there is something that has actually set him apart, and that is the training that he has gone through. So the making of a soldier, for example, it's not in the uniform, it's not in the gun that he carries, it is in the training that he has gone through that has imbibed in him that mindset. So it doesn't matter where he finds himself, he thinks like a soldier. Okay, so skill sets can be acquired through training, but mindsets can only be cultivated by you. So you have to put yourself in that mode. I guarantee you, I've been in this field for so many years, and I will tell you that one thing is important for you to make impact or to grow in this field is the way you think. Is the way you think. So let's have that in mind. So to wrap up this section, right, I'm going to reference two people. One is Charles Swindoll. He said that he's convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how he reacts to it. So if we wait for them to get just right, we'll never laugh again. And another anonymous person said that enlightenment comes from living. Life itself is a process of continual improvement. It's 20% what happens to you and 80% how you respond to that. So how you respond to issue has to do with your mindset. Whether it's 80% or 90%, but we know that it's occupied a larger percentage in achieving success in life. Okay, so that is very, very essential for us to understand. So let's go ahead and talk about cybersecurity. So the objective that we're going to be covering to help us understand or answer some of the questions that we have are listed right here. We're going to be talking about what's the cybersecurity all about. Then is it a career or a job? What are the domains that we have in cybersecurity? Okay, you really, really need to understand that. And then how do we address shortage in the field of cybersecurity? So these are things that we're going to be talking about today. So let's dive into that. So talking about what about cybersecurity skills? So if you have cybersecurity skills, then what next? What about it? Okay. So the very first thing I want you to know is that you will always have jobs if you have cybersecurity skills. And with cybersecurity skills, you can work without cybersecurity degree. We all know that degree is required for anyone to get into some of the field that you can think about. You need degree. Even if you, let me cite example of a medical field in nursing, for example. Even if you are born into the family of doctor, nurses, and you know about this, you grew, in that environment, and you know what to do, you can even prescribe. That does not give you the license to open any medical or to even work as a nurse. You got to go back to school, acquire the skill, pay the dues, do the training and all those good stuff. So, and be certified before you can do that. But when we talk about the cybersecurity, degree is not the main thing that they focus on. Now, that is not an insult on those that have cybersecurity degree, but it's just an encouragement for people that are coming into this field. So when you have cybersecurity skill, you can work in any industry. If you have the cybersecurity skills, your skill will be valued all across the world. So, sometimes we have to do some examination in some fields, right? Even if you're a doctor certified, board certified in a particular country, when you are migrating to another country, guess what? You have to be certified in that country to practice. But when it has to do with cybersecurity field, any skills that you have, is transferable, okay, is recognized and valuable, you know, all across the world. Then with cybersecurity, the compensation, what they are being paid is very good. And whatever your definition of good is, we're going to find out later because I'm going to show you uh, some of these things practically today. So, and also it offers work-life balance. Okay, during this pandemic, a lot of people lost their job. During this pandemic, a lot of people, they secure more than one job. That's just the truth because they have the flexibility of working remotely without being, without necessarily coming into a particular location to work. So that's what I mean by work-life balance is very good. So that is very essential. Now, what is cybersecurity? I really don't want to waste much of our time. I will ask one or two people to unmute and tell us when they think about cybersecurity, what comes to mind? Okay, so sometimes when you think about cybersecurity, what's the first thing you think about? Some people will say programmer. Some people will say coding. Some people will say hacker. No, so it is many things to many people, right? So, but let's look at the definition and kind of analyze what we mean by cybersecurity. The first definition I'll actually give us is that it's the practice of protecting what? Data in any form from unauthorized access, modification, or deletion. So, which means the first thing we think about is protecting data. We live in a world that is driven by data. We live in a world that is driven by information. If not before, now it is more. We rely more on data, on information right now than ever before. So that's to let us know that the job of protecting data and information is becoming busier and busier every day. So cybersecurity is that field, is that practice that is going to, that has the future, in the world that we live in. Another definition is that it is a technique of preventing systems, network programs, and applications from digital attacks. Now, the path of cybersecurity has introduced some malicious attacker also into the world, that they actually going after your data. Okay, the hack value, okay, is not the system, is actually the data that system contains. For example, your cell phone. If you have a cell phone, you purchase it for how much? But the information that you have on your cell phone is more valuable than the value of your phone. That's why you have to put a pin on it, because all your bank information, medical information, contact, even chat and text messages, okay, that are valuable to you, they are there. So, and you know, the value of all of those things is far more greater than the value of your phone. So this malicious attacker, what they're actually going after is not your phone, actually, is the information that it contains. So that's why I said that we live in a world that relies solely on information and data. So that data needs to be protected, and cybersecurity are the people that we rely on to do that job for us. So coming into this field, you are coming into a career that has a future, right? So is cybersecurity a career or a job? Okay. Right off the bat, cybersecurity is a career. It's not a job. Now, what's the difference between a career and a job? According to J.D. Roth in July 10, 2008, he said that a job is something you do simply to earn money. Okay? You need money, you go out, you do it, they pay you, you make a living. But a career is much more than making money. It's a series of connected employment opportunities. That's a career. It opens you up to greater opportunities when you invest in those. Also, he said that a job has minimal impact on your future work life, but a career provides experience and learning to fuel your future. Okay, you all know that future, anything that has will is driven by fuel. So if your future is going to be driven, it needs a fuel, and that fuel is the career. Okay, so cybersecurity is a career, it's not a job. So when you think about cybersecurity, think about coming into a field that hold you a future. So it's going to place a demand on so many things. It's going to place a demand on your time. It's going to place a demand on your money. It's going to place a demand on your social life. Is going to place a demand on you. But you know that all this price that you are paying is for a brighter future. Okay, so that is essential. Now let's talk about cybersecurity domain. But we think about the cybersecurity field, right? What does a field look like? Bam, that is it. Think of a field. A field, when I think of a field, I first think of a desert, right? That is, when you find yourself, I've not been to a desert before, but I've watched it in the movie once in a while if I have the time. Okay, everywhere you look at, everywhere you face looks like the right way. However, you need, if you have a picture of the future or the destination that you have in mind, that's the beginning of success. Knowing where you are going is the first thing. So when you find yourself in the field, in the domain, you'll be able to navigate yourself into that destination that you have in mind. So that is what we want to talk about here. So when you talk about cybersecurity, it's a huge field, very, very massive. Everywhere you go to, you head somewhere. But when you know where you are going, your journey becomes easier. So I want to help us to be able to navigate where you want to go. I'll even help you to even make that decision. Now, let's look at this cybersecurity domain. You see that it has a lot of tentacles. Okay, going in one direction, it leading you to different field entirely. Okay, and going in another direction, you are going to into a different domain entirely. So it's very, very huge and massive. So all these fields that we have right here, I've been able to summarize them into three broad domains. So we have the compliance side of cybersecurity, we have the operations side of cybersecurity, and then we have the cloud security. So when you think about cybersecurity at large, think about all these things. So let me help us to understand some of these domains so that you'll be able to, the first assignment you want to have is to first assess yourself. I want to do cybersecurity. What skills do you have? What do you think you can do, right? Some people like, yes, somebody asks if you're getting the recording. Yes, you'll be getting the recording. Thank you for asking, right? So somebody will think of, oh, the hacker, I don't like programming. Yeah, it's coding. I don't like coding. Now, whether you know how to code or you don't even know how to code, guess what? You can still work in the field of cybersecurity. Now, let's talk about the compliance. Even thinking about the word compliance, you know what that means. That is ability to conform to certain standards. So, which means there must be a standard in place that people must conform to. There must be a framework or structure that people want to conform to. So the compliance people, these are the people that enforce compliance. For lack of better terms, they are the people that enforce that ensure that the organization conform to the certain standard. Now, which means we think about the standard first, and then we think about what they should do. Thou shalt not steal. That is the standard. And then the compliance people, they visit the organization. What are you doing? Are you stealing? What are you doing? And then they measure it against the standard. And to be able to identify any deviation between what the organization are doing and what the standard that is guiding that organization. Every organization on earth, they have something that they are conforming to, right? Think about healthcare. I know the healthcare people, I'm going to be spotting on you a lot today. So think about working in the field, in the medical field, for example. You have to conform majorly to HIPAA standard, right? So the compliance people, they visit the hospital to see what the people are actually doing, okay, as against what they expect to be doing. And then they see discrepancy and say, okay, to offer recommendation and advice on what they can do to protect their environment. So that's the job of compliance people. Now, the operation people, you've heard about the hackers before. You've heard about the blue team, red team, those that defend the organization, and those that kind of simulate attack in an organization just to ensure that the environment is secure for data transaction. So those are the operation guys. Now, the operation people will need a little more skill set to perform their duty, maybe programming, some coding and things like that to perform their duty. But the compliance people, guess what? They do not need any coding experience to perform their job. What you need to know is what the standard is saying, so that when you see anyone that is not in compliance, you'll be able to identify that. So that's just that. So Then we come into the cloud security. The cloud security, now everything is migrating into the cloud right now, right? Because everything we still meet in the cloud, right? So these are the people that have the skill set of standing up some of this infrastructure in the cloud, maintaining it, and also ensuring that all of these things are conforming to the standard that they ought to be. But let me shock you by telling you that as simple as compliance people are, their work, their experience is still needed in operation as well as in cloud security. The cloud security people depend on compliance to enforce anything before they do it, despite the fact that they may not know coding, but they are the people that operate in the advisory of every organization. So that's to let you know that compliance people are the boss. If before you do anything, you have to consult them, they have to validate that before you can actually set up a server, or you want to, for any organization to embark on any project, they depend on compliance guys to do that for them, to guide them. So my opinion is that for you coming into the field of cybersecurity, if you're coming from the side of compliance, you are safe. Number one, you don't need much of coding or programming experience to perform in that field. You only need to know what standard you need to focus on and how those standards work. Okay. And that's what we're going to be talking about the next 8 weeks. We're going to be focusing more on compliance. So Proven Academy is providing training more in the compliance side of cybersecurity. We're still going to touch on the cloud security and operation during the training, but more importantly, about 70–80% of the training will be focusing more on the compliance side of the cybersecurity. So let's get after that. I just thought to emphasize that as we progress. So if you have questions, keep posting it. I have one of the admin responding to some of those questions. Okay. So in case if and for any question that has not been answered, I will still switch to the chat room to answer some of those questions as time goes on. So now let's talk about different roles that we have in cybersecurity. I'm not going to spend so much time here, but we have various roles depending on which domain you belong to. Okay, but during this cybersecurity training, okay, that will be starting, continuing, next week, the next 8 weeks, we are going to be focusing more on two major roles, okay? And that role is called Information System Security Officer and Security Control Assessor. And these two roles will give birth to multiple roles as we go along. Because we need to have a focus, right? We need to know where we are directing our energy to. So the energy will be directed more on those two major roles. Okay, so let's get after that.
Good morning, everyone. Afternoon or evening, depending on where you are in the world.
Okay, thank you, everyone. I want to reiterate that everyone should please pay attention to their microphone so that we don't distract this session. Thank you, as you confirm. Now, we have shortage in the field of cybersecurity. So, according to John Makumba, in 2017, John Makumba made a prediction, a 5 years prediction. He said that there are a lot of productive jobs in the field of cybersecurity field that do not need a 4-year degree. So it cannot wait for you to go to school 4 years after to come back. There are some jobs that you can do, whether you have degree or you are going through degree process, or you don't even have at all, or you have a degree but not in cybersecurity. So a lot of productive job that you can do. Another thing that he said nearly all career requires some form of degree. Remember I said that before they practice and be successful, but degree is not required to practice in cybersecurity field. We've said that before. Now, the third thing that he said the shortage of cybersecurity skills can be addressed, starting with training anyone who is unemployed. And I put in bracket also underemployed. So the beginning of addressing this shortage in cybersecurity field start with training people, industry-specific training that the industry will depend on, to address their cybersecurity concern. Training people, giving them that skill set, such as the training that is offered by Proven Academy. That is how we address cybersecurity shortage. So this 8 weeks training is one of those trainings that is backed by this statement. That is, the industry understand what they need and giving that training to people so that when they come in ready, plug and play when they join them. So, but before anybody can get into the company, you need to know what they need, and then be able to address that. So he also said that by 2022, the 2022 will be in the next 1 year, less than 1 year, right? That if this cybersecurity shortage is not addressed, he said there could be up to 1.8 million information security related roles that will not be filled worldwide, not just in America. So I'm going to try to demonstrate some of these things to you today, just to let you know that we are not there yet, and we are getting there very soon. So I'm going to switch my screen and go to a website that is called cybersec.org. Is it org? I believe it is org. If it's not org, then it's going to be gov. Okay, cybersecurity.org. This is one of the tools that is used after John Makumba made that prediction. This is one of the tools that the federal government are using, and even sectors that are using to track the shortage in the field of cybersecurity. Okay. So let's go to 2 tabs. The first one is the interactive map. When you look at this map, you're going to see the map of United States, and each state are being color-coded. I know this thing is still thinking, it's still loading, but when it finishes loading, we're going to see something. What is it thinking about? So now, while we're waiting for the map to load, one thing you're going to see is that, let me exit and try that again. Okay, we're going to see that each state in United States are color-coded, and each color code, they have legend. What that means is to tell us the rate at which people are employed in the field of cybersecurity, and to also let us know the opportunity in each state in United States of America. I don't know why this thing is taking so long. It has nothing to do with my own. Let me see if somebody, okay, yeah, finally, right? So this is the map of United States, and each state are color coded, and this is the legend. The legend is to track the number of job openings in each state. So the states that has very deep blue color, like California, Texas, Florida, North Carolina, Virginia, New York, even Maryland, they are deep blue colored states, right? Not in terms of political um, space, but we are talking about cybersecurity thing. Shows that they have a lot of job openings in the field of cybersecurity. Okay, and this is at the national level, right? So, which means at national level, when we look at it, the total cybersecurity job openings is almost 500,000. And the total number of people that are employed in the field of cybersecurity, they are less than 1,000,000. Okay. Now we are talking about a country that has over 32 million. Correct me if I'm wrong. The population of United States, maybe 32 million. Correct me if I'm wrong. So now we have less than 1 million people already employed in the field, and the job opening is still open to almost 500,000 people. Okay. Now, if you go to each state, let me pick the first one, Texas. It still gives us the information about those states. So for Texas, it is 42,000 job opening, and currently we have less than 90,000 people employed in the field of cybersecurity, right? So there is no state that does not have any opportunity. That's the truth. Even if you go to Nebraska, currently they have about less than 2,000 people and less than 1,000 job openings there. So there is job opening everywhere. That's the first thing I want us to know. So the second thing I want to point to us here is the career pathway. Okay. So this career pathway have this thing categorized into entry, mid, and advanced level. So coming into the field after this cybersecurity training, okay, you become meaning more at the mid level, okay? And when you look at this, let's pick the middle one, cybersecurity consultant. Hovering over that, it shows the number of job opening for cybersecurity consultants, almost 20,000 job openings. And then the average salary of cybersecurity consultant is 91,000. 91,000 is the average. And there is no role in the field of cybersecurity that is less than 90,000. Okay. So look at that. 91, cybersecurity analyst, 95,000, penetration tester and vulnerability tester, that's over 6 digits. I've seen a lot of people that after the training, the job they got offered them $55 an hour. So let's do a little bit of math here. Let's bring up the calculator. So let me drag my calculator right here. Average human being in this field, okay, you work 40 hours every week. So we have 52 weeks in a year. So which means you work 80 hours every year, average human being. So now that's the hours that we work in the corporate world generally. So for somebody that is earning $55 an hour, multiply that one with 2080, That's to give you that is earning 100 and almost 115,000 per annum. Okay, so that's to let you know that I don't know how much you are earning right now. You might be earning more, you might be earning less. So coming into the field of cybersecurity, the minimum you get is 91,000 per annum average. Let's put it that way. Divide that one by 2080. It means that you're going to be earning about $44, $45 an hour. So how much are they paying cybersecurity? I believe I've been able to clarify that. When you are negotiating, you understand where, don't tell them it's 20,000 per annum. That's what you are negotiating, right? But this has been able to guide you as to what you should base your this thing on. So let me close that. So now let me close that. So based on that, we've been able to see that cybersecurity is a field that offer you more than you actually give to them. So in the field of cybersecurity also, we need certification, okay? Certification is required. Some organization, they are ready to give you the job, even if you do not have the certification, but they will have to, you know, give you maybe 90 or 60 days for you to acquire the certification. I think I have a company. Good morning. All right. So that's my assistant. So now let's talk about few of those certifications that you have. I will focus more. These are different domain, different career in the field of cyber IT generally. So information security, when you follow this blue line, these are the certifications. You don't need all, you need only one or two of them and you're set, right, to get the job. So you don't need all the certification, but I just thought to mention the issue of certification while we are here. So now let's switch role for a minute, right? Let's switch role for a minute. We've been thinking about being employed, right? Let's think about how the employer, those people that want to give you the job, okay, what would they be looking for? Okay. So, first and foremost, the employers are looking for experience. Can you do the job? Give me 1 second. Let me be sure that. Sorry for that break in transmission. So, number one, every employer, they need somebody that is coming in with experience, okay? They want to be sure that you can do the job, right? And that is where many people give up on themselves. And that is where proven academic come to bridge the gap. So, and it's the same thing for everyone. You want to repair anything in your house, the first thing you want to look for a professional, somebody that can do the job or that has done the job. Not somebody that look like a mechanic, but somebody who is actually a mechanic to repair your car. So it's a mutual feeling. The employer needs somebody that have an experience before they can give you the job. Now, the second thing the employer are looking for, or that they will let you know, is that they will give you the job description. That is, they let you know what they are looking for. So that is like a consolation. If you know what they are looking for, Then you just match up with what they are looking for, gather experience in the field of things that they need, right? And then apply for them as something that you have experience in. So throughout the 8 weeks training, we are focusing on the job descriptions for those roles that we talk about. Okay. So when you understand those things and you align your experience on things that they are looking for, then easily you can win their heart, right? So another thing is the skills. Okay, verbal, if you can read and write, guess what? You're welcome on board. You need basic IT knowledge is essential because number one, when you think about information technology, is the backbone for any career in cybersecurity. I think of IT and cybersecurity as this long stretch of road. In Texas, we call it Interstate 45 or I-10, Interstate 10 or something that span across states, right? And you see that it has so many exits, right? And each exit still leads to a different city, different um, city most of the time. So that's to let you know that the every city is connected to that highway. So IT, the knowledge of IT will give you rather an opportunity to diversify your experience into so many things, such as cybersecurity. So at least the basic IT knowledge is required, and also certification and education. We've talked about certification because what the certification will do is that it's going to measure your competence. But education is far much more than going to school because the best you get from going to school, brick and mortar school, is certificate, right? And it depends on which country where you acquire the education from. Guess what? If you carry that an accountant, somebody that graduates as an accountant in a country coming to the United States, for example, will have to evaluate, okay, his result against the standard that the United States had already put in place. That's to let you know that when it has to do with education, it's not the same standard, but the certification is just one body all across the world. Okay. So if you are certified also, so in the order of priority, what I will let you know is that organization value certification more than education. Okay, that's important. Then you want to be team player. That is also one of those things that they are looking for. So how do you acquire the skill will be the next thing. So for you to acquire the skill, you need to get trained. Getting trained to acquire the experience, the first thing, to fulfill the first and the second thing that the employer are looking for. Get trained, acquire the experience through training, put in place, spend money on the skill set. The one thing is that the skill set is yours once you acquire it. Okay. When you get trained, now you prepare your resume, right? Based on the experience that you have acquired during the training. Then you look for position, look for what those employers are looking for, right? And apply, throw in your resume. Anybody who wants to offer you the job will first see you, you know, in the soft copy of yourself, which is your resume. Apply for the position, luck be on your side, God be on your side. You get an interview and you pass the interview, and the next thing will be that you get hired. So everything starts with getting and ends with getting. You get trained to get hired. That's the most important thing. So you get trained, you acquire the training before you can acquire the job. That's important. And those are the things that we are going to be emphasizing the next 8 weeks. Okay. How do you prepare for the opportunity will be the next thing. There are so many things. Remember, we said that it begins with you, with from where you are and with what you have. Dedication. You need to have that growth mindset to learn something new every day. Okay? You need to learn something new every day. It's a journey, it is not a destination. Coming into the field of cybersecurity, study, learn, and dedicate yourself, okay, to learn something new every day. Also, you need to align yourself with the like-minded people. Form a network of professionals, those people that are heading the direction that you are desiring to go. Surround yourself with those people. Let them be your buddy. Let them encourage you. Let them give you the real-time information that you need to get where you're going. Support, you need support system. Of course, education and training, we cannot overemphasize that. Okay, skills are also required, and also certification. At least if you have two of those certification, you will be good. But do you need certification to get the job? You need the certification eventually to keep the job. But so many people can get the job without certification, but you need certification to keep the job. And the most important one is that you need patience. Everything grows and matures in the hands of patience. I've been training for the past 4 years. I've been in this field for longer than that. I have seen some people that finish the training. In 2 weeks, they get the job. 2 weeks after the training. We finish training this Saturday, for example. They already onboarded 2 weeks after, right? I've seen people, it took them 1 month, some people 6 months, some people 1 year. It depends on how aggressive you are. But the most important thing is that, are you doing what is required to acquire what you desire? That is, you give yourself patience. Don't believe that the person that trained you will be the one to look for the job for you. You need to put in extra effort for you to get to where you are going. So also, patience is important. We cannot overemphasize that. Okay. So before we actually talk about the 8 weeks training proper, I would like to spot on two people that have gone through Proven Academy program. We've trained over 100 people, but these two people, they are volunteer to share their experience, how we have actually, guided them into the career where they are right now. And in no particular order, I will first invite, is Mr. Ayo. Are you here today? Ayo, Rebe. Tell me you are here. Okay. I guess you will join us. So I would love I can see Mr. Babala Ogunbiyi right here. Go for it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oshilaja. Thank you, everyone, for joining this call. And I'm privileged to be one of those that will be speaking here today because I have actually invested in my future and I have learned a lot from the Proven Academy, um, classes. First of all, let me give you my background. I am a non-IT. I have a non-IT background. I have a bachelor's in environmental economics and policy. And, taking this training has helped me tremendously. I was a project manager, but I wanted to move into IT security fully to see what it was in. Keep in mind that there's a lot of trainings out there. There are a lot of people that are money hunting, but this is not one of them. And I'll give you my reasons why. One, I remember attending one of this kind of forum info session like you guys today then, and I was wondering, is this what I want to do? And I knew I wanted to invest in my future. I love the way he broke down everything. He's phenomenal at doing that. And attend, immediately I was sold because I knew he knew his stuff and he was going to train me to the extent in which I need. And not only the class alone, afterwards is big for me too, because this program actually brings us together again afterwards, while we're looking for jobs, while we've gotten a job and, to help us understand what's going on, learning more about risk, the compliance space, and also knowing more about, the needs, things that you'll find at work. And now working, I see the benefit of all this because I'm connecting everything together. But I don't want to take too much of your time. But one thing I want to tell you is this is a great program that will take you from zero to a level in which you can work. Currently, I just started. This is my the end of my first week at Deloitte, and you all know it's a big four. Getting a job at Deloitte is not the easiest thing, but this training has helped me to get the job at Deloitte. And not just as a consultant, I started as a senior consultant. So that tells you that it took me from non-IT, not only I didn't start as an analyst, I'm starting as a senior consultant. And I see you guys can do this. And a lot of points that he mentioned, he's not going to do the work alone for you guys. You guys have got to put in your own part of it by investing in yourself, opening your ears and be ready to learn. So I wish you all the best. And that's a little bit about me. If there's any other thing, I'm always welcome to answer questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Babala, for doing that. And I would love to hear from Mr. Ayo Oribi. Go for it. Take it away, Mr. Ayo. Do you want me to unmute you? Okay. All right. So while he's trying to get that done, while he's trying to figure things out, so I want to let you know a little about Mr. Ayoribi. Mr. Orebe, I believe I have his permission, to say this. We're actually working together in the same company now. Okay, he went through the training also. And when people, they are done with the training, for everyone that graduate from the training, we have a forum that we put them in, right? On that forum, we share different job opportunity anywhere with our company or something, let them know if they access to reference, refer anybody. We share those references among ourselves, right? So he was one of so many people that went for this interview and then he got the job. So we are working with one of the companies, okay, together. Actually, he has more than one job in his hands as is, right? I don't mean to put him on this, but I believe he agrees with me on that. So that's to let you know that coming into this training, right, is more of impacting knowledge that is marketable for you. All right. So that is that about that. Mr. Ayo, I know there might be some technical challenges right there, but if you are able to take it away, we are right here waiting for you. Okay, go for it, sir.
Yes, thank you for your time. And I want to appreciate you for this opportunity that you afforded me. My name is Ayodele. I want to first of all appreciate Mr. Kayode Oshilaja for this opportunity. And I want to congratulate every one of you in this webinar today. For you to have been here, you have taken a right step. And I wish you the best at the end. My experience spanned across banking for 10 to 15 years while I was in Nigeria. Cut across internal control, audit, and later I moved into IT audit, which I didn't spend a lot of time in before moving down to the state. And getting here in the state, I found myself in oil and gas, which though the money is there, but I realized that I'm not fulfilling purpose because of the hazard in that job. So along the line, I started doing some things together or putting something together, making money. And in the course of it, I had a transaction or another business transaction with a lovely sister who happened to be Mr. Coyote's wife, which I got to know later. And during that conversation, I'm the person that I like to express my feelings to people. And I was telling her that, yes, this is where I work, but I prefer to be in the IT world. And she said she has a brother who is organizing a training, that if I don't mind, I can reach out to the brother and talk to him. Unfortunately, the brother happened to be Mr. Coyote, the husband. So I got to know later. So when we talked, I said, yes, I think this is where I belong. And he told me they are going to organize a training. I joined the webinar like this. I listened to people's testimonials. And first impression lasts longer. Everything he told you today was exactly what he told me then. And I make up my mind. So when I joined, the first lecture, I look at it started from the basics. So I don't want people who believe that they don't have IT or computer skill to get scared. This class is going to start from the scratch. What is computer? What is mouse? What is hardware and everything? It's as if I went into primary school again. And along the line, we started this thing. And let me tell you one thing, my confidence was boosted when he gave us the opportunity to ask questions. So you are at liberty to ask any question. No question is stupid. Whatever you think you need to know, always ask him, and he's there to assist because he has been a help to me. Even while he's busy on vacation or at work, I reach out to him. Just like he said, I finally got a job. The reason why I didn't get job immediately, let me use this word. The reason why I didn't get job immediately because I did the course November last year was that I was actually working on a project which I think will not allow me to have extra job. But towards the closure of that project, I decided to start putting in my resume. Yeah, I think that thing is that Mr. Cowdy will also help you to have a one-on-one time, you go through your resume together and everything. So I just brought all my experiences from Nigeria into one bucket and you look at it and say, okay, fine, let's try and shoot it. And he gave us areas where we need to put in all these things. There is work, there is job out there if you know your onions, if you know what you are doing. So I started putting in applications and applications are coming in. I did a lot of interviews. They promised to get back to me. And I was getting confused at the point in time. I walked up to him, I said, sir, I have to be bold. I said, can you do this interview for me? That it's like, this is not forthcoming. And he said, no, keep trying. Just don't relent. And I keep trying. Lo and behold, this job was posted on one of our group chats and I picked it up and I went in for the interview. Everything I've been reading or studied, probably from the class and from from those interviews that I've been taking, worked for me perfectly. And I got the job. And I want to tell you, it's not an ordinary job. It's a good job that, yes, if I decide to part with what I'm doing before, I will still be surviving. It's a 6-digit figures job. So I want you to know that, yes, you are in the right line and just be confident. Whatever you run into, any challenges, feel free to reach out to Mr. Coyote or anyone you know on this group. It's going to be a life-changing experience. And let me tell you one thing. This is one of the cheapest training I've ever done. I've had the cost of doing different training, 3,000, 4,000, Oracle, DevOps, AWS, all sorts of training. But this one, cybersecurity, for that price, my brothers and sisters, go for it. You won't regret it. I started getting the pay and I think I made back double of that, or let me say triple of that amount in 2 weeks. So what else again are we talking about? So I want to encourage every one of us to go for it. It's a good experience. Thank you, Mr. Kawade, for this opportunity. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Ayo, for your time. I really appreciate that. I know you had a lot of things to do today, family matter thing, but you still volunteer to show up. It means a lot to us. Thank you so very much. Now, let me tell us about Proven Academy. Okay. Proven Academy, we equip IT professionals. Okay. We have a passion of equipping the next generation of IT professionals with relevant tools for career advancement. So we help people bridge gap between unemployment and employment by introducing them to affordable training, right? So now let me talk to us about how we do what we are doing, right? And make it so affordable for people. It costs us a lot, but we believe that we place value on you more than our own effort. We have two tiers of training, all lumped together in this 8 weeks training. So the one that is called live online mentoring program is like we meet every Saturday, right? Starting from next week, Saturday. That is when we're going to be treating the first module, right? So we meet one-on-one just like this. You have to register for that one, right? The link will be shared on this platform by the admin, right? It's a live online program when we share the screen and show you one-on-one and show you step by step what we need to do. The PowerPoint presentation we put in place, different method of learning. We have our own office also, but because of COVID, there is restriction, right, to gathering physically, but we kind of put in place different method of learning, uh, simulation, voice over, and different ways that, and even annotation, so that to convey the knowledge to you. Okay, so it's to provide a well-crafted career center cybersecurity training, for you. So that one will be 3 hours once a week, 3 hours every Saturday, the same time, 10 a.m. Central till 1 p.m. Central every Saturday, starting from 14th till I think September 25 or something. When you sign up, you're going to see that information, but you really need to sign up if you want to proceed with that one. And if you have already made the payments through another means, we got your back. We'll be able to get you sign up, right? So the second tier of our training is the online learning management system. That's what we call the OLMS. Now, we have a platform, and for everyone that sign up for our training will gain access to that platform. So on that platform, you'll be able to learn so many things. I would like to bring up that portal over to you so that I show you what we are talking about. So this is our online learning management system. So you come here, you learn so many things. Now, like we said, no experience is no problem, right? So we give you an overview, a summary of what computer is. That's where we start. Summary of what network is, network security. But you know that there's no way we can teach you everything. So because we recognize that, we give you an unlimited access, 1 year unlimited access to this platform to learn as you go, right? So, and you can log in into this anytime and learn something for yourself. Maybe I should just pick one of these. Let me pick Computer A Plus and show you how it works. So for Computer A Plus, this is one of it. So you come here, you click on that, you click enter, and then the video will be playing, and then you follow the simulation. So we expect you to do this for yourself. The remaining Sunday to Friday, so you have the opportunity to learn something as you go. As a matter of fact, most of the assignment that we give to people, we give them assignment to come here and learn a particular course. Number one, 252 courses, you don't need all of them, right? You only need few of them. So we identify those field that you need, and then we ask you to go and learn. So you have opportunity to learn as you go. We advise minimum of 4 hours at least every week to learn something from this platform. So the video we play, right? So that is what I will do that. So those are the two tier of our training. So signing up for this 8 weeks training will give you access to both LOMP and OLMS. Okay, that is that about that one. And like I said, you need to sign up to be able to access the training. The link will be shared by the admin if she had not shared that already. But when you get the link, it's going to look very much like this, asking you to put in your first name, your last name, your email, and then register. You are going to get the link, 2 links actually, but you're going to focus more on the first link, okay? And then that is what contains the link to access the subsequent 8 weeks training. Okay, it starts from 14 till October 2nd, actually. So that is that about that one. So that's about the 8 weeks training. Now, the 8 weeks training, we also have curriculum for those 8 weeks training. What are we going to be learning the first week, the second week, up to 8 weeks? It has been, broken down for us. The first week, we're going to be talking about information security, okay, which is computer technology. We want to understand what makes up computer, right? And how the information move from one computer to another computer. That is the next thing that we're going to do and talk about during the network security and protocol. And then we're also going to build a very solid foundation on what cybersecurity is all about, cybersecurity fundamentals, the roles and responsibility. And we go on and on. We'll talk about cloud computing. Remember cloud security that we talked about as one of the domain. We will touch on those one. Vulnerability scanning management also is also part of this operation side of cybersecurity. We're still going to touch on those things. More importantly, we'll talk to you about your resume. Everyone experience, differs, right? So, which means the resume, we have the general section for resume when we talk about how you can put your resume together. And then we ask you to put your resume together, and then you schedule a one-on-one section, okay, to review the details on your resume and see what goes on there. Is remove this one, add this one to that. So we tailor your resume to your experience. So that will be the next one of those things that we do during that time. Also, interview question and answer. You haven't worked in this field before, you are coming in afresh. How do you know they ask question? What kind of question do they ask? And things like that. You want to know how to go about that. So we have the interview question and answer session also during those sessions. So those are the things that this 8 weeks training is going to be covering for you. Okay, I know we have a lot of questions, and I hope I will go into the chat room right now and see if there's any question that has not been answered. But if you do have any question, please feel free to ask me the question right now, and then we'll be more than happy to answer your question. If you want to ask question, if you know how to raise your hands, that's fine. If not, just go ahead, unmute yourself, and then we'll attend to your question. So, okay, D777, I love that name, right? Please go ahead, Mr. or Mrs. Dees.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, sir. Okay, good morning, Mr. What's your name, if you don't mind me asking?
My name is Desmond. People call me Des, so I just, Yes, sir.
And what about 777?
I don't know. I think it's Zoom that put that one there. I don't
Okay,
know.
that's okay. Not a problem. Go
Yes,
for
sir.
it. Take it away.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I joined in late, little bit late, so I didn't really start from the beginning. So how many days are the training? Is it only Saturdays?
Yes, it's going to be only Saturday, 3 hours once a week for the live online mentoring program. However, you have the remaining 6 days to learn something new for yourself. Okay, right? Does that answer the question?
Yes, sir. Or the amount? I don't know.
Yeah, the
Is
amount
it
is
until we get to the
$2,000.
list?
It's $2,000, and we have the installmental payments option. So for anyone that wants to sign in anytime, the first installmental payment is due on or before Saturday. And the first installmental payment of 1,000 and the remaining 1,000, split it into two between that time and by 6 weeks. So you can pay 500, 500, or whichever way. So that's the way it goes. Does that answer the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other question? All right.
My name is Soji
Soji,
Adegoroye, yes.
okay.
Yes, I logged in with Taiwo Busari. We're together.
Okay, okay, that's go for it, Mr.
Okay.
Soji.
Yes, I'm in Canada. I learned you mentioned the payment is $2,000. For those of us in Canada, it's the same $2,000, right?
Unfortunately, that's what we got to do. It's
Okay.
2,000 also for those in Canada.
Okay, thank you. That's 2,000 Canadian.
US dollars.
Oh.
I don't know how it works. I know those people that have trained in Canada too, they pay 2,000. I mean, it doesn't make a difference for us anyway. So just go ahead and pay the 2,000. I believe it might be 2,000 Canadian dollars. So that's fine. Okay.
Okay, what about if I have camps, ACAMS, is it going to be an added advantage for somebody that is coming to the compliance
You
line?
say CAM. What is CAM? I'm trying
A
to.
certified anti-money laundering expert.
That's not one of those IT security training certification that I know of.
Okay.
Right. So that might be one of those certification that will work better for anyone that wants to gain access into the financial industry.
Yes.
Right. So that might be an addition later, but I'm not aware of CAM as one of those certification. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. or Mrs. Tola Olale, please go for it.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Ms. Tola.
So my question has actually been asked. I wanted to ask about money, about the fee. I'm from Canada as well, so I wanted to ask how much the training is going to cost. Then I want to, because you mentioned that you start from the basics, you tell them about computer, what is computer and all that. So is that for everyone? Because for someone like me, I'm practicing IT already. I've been in this field for 13 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really want to go into that basics. I would rather go into
the main stuff, right?
Yes. So okay. I don't want to find it boring. So that's why I want to know, like, is it based on, can it be tailor-made based on what we already know?
Okay, so now, thank you for asking that question. Number one is that I know for somebody that have been in the field, the first week's training might be a little bit, it's not meant for me, right? But we want to give people that are upcoming also that opportunity. That's why we introduce them to the basic stuff, right? But I guarantee you from the second week, when we start talking about the computer security, network security, then you start warming up there. But we want to give those people that are coming that opportunity to understand where it comes from. But I still believe that you have one or two things to gain from that experience. But as we progress, that is when you start seeing the main stuff coming in. But the first class is just going to be like a foundational one. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome. All right, Nonso, I thought I saw Nonso
Yes,
Obira.
my hands were. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Nonso. How are you?
How you doing?
Finally, we met, right?
Uh, your voice sounds familiar. I'm in Houston, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yes. My question is there any other way we can make a payment except PayPal, like Zelle or anything else?
At the moment, there are some method that you can use to make payment other than PayPal. But you know what? With PayPal also, you can use your card, but we also have the Zelle uh, method of payment. That's correct. I believe the admin will share the number that is associated with the Zelle payment with on this platform also. Okay.
All right, thank you. That's perfect. Because my PayPal has been acting up since the virus. People have been
Oh,
hacking into PayPal accounts.
oh, okay. Sorry to hear about that.
It's fine.
All
Well,
right.
thank you though.
You're welcome. So honestly, let me say this. Number one, I appreciate everyone for calling in today to listen to this webinar. And also, I want you to know that even if you are not fully ready right now to join this current class, we have this class every other month. Okay. So we have this training every other month to attend to train people and things like that. And honestly, you're going to benefit from it as we progress. So that is that. So I'm going to stay back even when everybody drop off, right? So that in case if you have any question and if you want to also chat me up, we have a number displayed on the flyer. That number you can call, you can text, you can also send your WhatsApp to that number. It will be attended to, and then we'll be able to um, take care of those concerns. All right, so that's just that about that. So let me see if I have answered any question on this platform. Any question that has not been okay. I believe every question has been answered. So thank you again, and thank you for your time. I look forward to guiding you into this career as we progress in this journey. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, this is Nonso again. Please,
All right.
just a quick question. I didn't get the flyer. Can you please post the number on this group chat so we can all have the number, or I can have the number?
I'm trying to post the number right now.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So that would be the Zelle thing. But remember to go to that link to sign up. When you sign up on that link, you'll get the link for the remaining 8 weeks of training. Okay.
Okay, for sure. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So the webinar is over, but if you have any question, you can stay back and then I'll be able to answer the question for you. I will stop the recording right now.